Hey everyone, Pencil here, your trusty math sidekick. Today we're going on a math adventure through an Alleyn School 11 Plus math paper, and I'll show you step by step how to solve all kinds of tricky questions. We'll explore sequences, fractions, word problems, geometry, and even some special rules. So don't worry if it looks tricky. I'll explain everything clearly and we'll calculate it together. Before we start, a quick shout out to Atom Learning. It's this super cool online platform that helps you practice maths, English, and verbal reasoning with fun questions and explanations. Think of it as your secret weapon to ace the 11 plus. Alright, sharpen your pencils. Oh wait, I'm already sharp. Let's jump in and have some fun with numbers. So this question paper has 20 questions in it, and it should approximately take you 30 minutes to do so. But let's see how far we can get. Remember to pause the video at any given time if you're unsure. Break it down into smaller steps. And if you enjoy this video, don't forget to share and subscribe. Question number 1. What is the missing term in this sequence? Well, to find the missing term, we need to figure out the rule of the sequence. And the first thing we should do is try to find the difference between each term. So the difference between the first and the second term is 24. And the difference between the fourth and the fifth term is also 24. So the difference is 24 every time. So the rule is minus 24. Now all we need to do is apply our minus 24 rule to the number that comes before the missing term. So that's 84 minus 24, and we get 60. Therefore, the missing term is 60. Question 2. Use long multiplication to answer the following question. So we first calculate what multiplying by 1 is, and then we calculate what multiplying by 10 is. So that is because we have 11, which is comprising of 10 and 1. So 7 multiplied by 1 is 7, 3 multiplied by 1 is 3. And now it's the tens column. So we place a 0, 7 by 1 is 7, and 3 by 1 is 3. We add this all together, and we get 407. A is our answer. Okay, question 3. What fraction of 3 hours is 90 minutes? To find the fraction, the two periods of time need to have the same unit. So we need to first convert 3 hours to minutes. And that's 180 minutes. Because what I've done is multiplied this by 60. So 3 hours is the same as 180 minutes. And we now need to divide 90 by 180. And we can simplify this fraction by again dividing by 10. So we're left with 9 and 18. And then dividing by 9, and that's 1 over 2. So 90 minutes is a half of 3 hours. So C is our answer here. Question 4. So we have a BIDMAS question. So to solve this question, we need to remember BIDMAS. BIDMAS stands for brackets, indices, division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. This tells us the order of operations we need to follow. So first, we start off by doing division. 42 divided by 7 is 6. Followed by addition, 28 plus 6 is 34. And then finally, subtraction, 34 minus 2 is 32. And that is our answer here. I hope you're finding this useful. Please don't forget to pause the video at any given time. Attempt the question, then press play so you can see how I've done this. Question 5. We're asked to subtract a proper fraction, 5 over 6, from a whole number. We can do this if we convert 7 into a fraction with the same denominator as 5 over 6. So we'll have 7 over 1, which is equivalent to 7, but we'll times everything by our denominator. And that there will be 42 over 6. And we can now find the difference of the fractions by subtracting the numerators like normal numbers as the denominators of the fractions. So we will then have 42 over 6 minus 5 over 6, which is 37 over 6, and E is our answer. Okay, question 6. What is the missing numerator? Now, we call fractions that are equal to each other equivalent fractions. Two fractions are equivalent when their numerator and denominator have been divided by the same number. In this case, we can see that the denominator has been divided by 3. So to find the correct equivalent fraction, we need to divide the numerator by 3 as well. And that gives us 7. So the missing numerator is 7. Okay, question 7. Work out 651 minus 273. So let's use the column method here. So 1 is smaller than 3, so we have to exchange 1 10 for 10 ones. So that becomes 4 and that becomes 11. 11 take away 3 gives us 8. Now, as 1 10 was exchanged into ones, we're left with 4 10s, but this is less than 7. So we have to exchange 100 for 10 10s. So now we have 14 take away 7, which is 7. So we write 7 under the line here. And we only have 5 hundreds left. So 5 take away 2 is 3, and 378 is our answer. Okay, question 8. 12 squared minus 3 cubed. Now, to square a number, we multiply it by itself. So 12 squared is equal to 12 multiplied by 12. But to cube a number, we multiply it by itself 3 times. So 3 cubed is 3 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 3. So we've got 144 and we have 27. And if we minus this, we get 117, and that is our answer. Okay, question 9. There are 27 students in Casey's art class, and there are 5 more girls than there are boys. So how many girls are there in the class? Well, questions like these are often easier to solve by sketching out the problem. So I'm going to use a bar model here. I've got my total students equaling 27. And that is split into girls and boys. Please note that the girls is made up of boys plus 5. So essentially, what we do first is we take 27 and we take away the difference of them. And we're left with 22. We then must go ahead and divide this by 2 and we get 11. Therefore, we now know 11 plus 5 is the same as the boys plus 5, which is 16. So there are 16 girls in the class. I hope that is clear. Let's now move over to question 10. A fruit stand had 160 apples at the start of the day. In the morning, they sold a quarter of the apples. So instantly, a quarter of 160 is 40. And we now have 120 left, as we do 160 take away 40. In the afternoon, they sold a third of the remaining apples. So once again, a third of 120 is also 40. So all we now need to do is 120 take away 40, and there are 80 apples left after the afternoon. Okay, question 11. 48 sports fans were asked to choose their favourite sport to watch. The pie chart below shows the results of this survey. How many fans have football as their favourite sport? Well, we can see that the angle of the sector that represents football is 180 degrees. So in other words, football represents a half of the pie chart, and a half of 48 is 24. So 24 fans is the answer here. Question 12. The rule for the sequence below is as follows. Triple the previous term and then add 3. So let's start by finding the second term, the one we are looking for. We apply the rule to the number 2. 2 times 3 is 6, and 6 plus 3 equals 9. So this is the number we were looking for. So let's check if this works with the third and the fourth term. 9 times 3 is 27, and 27 plus 3 is 30. And then 30 times 3 is 90, and 90 plus 3 is 93. So this works. So now we have a completed sequence: 2, 9, 30, and 93. So the correct answer here is 9. Question 13. A triangle is shown below. It is not drawn to scale. What is the perimeter of this triangle in centimeters? So to find the perimeter of any polygon, we find the sum of all the sides. In this polygon, we have been given the length of every side, so we just need to add these together. So the perimeter is 22.1 centimeters. And that's by 5.5, 9.2, and 7.4. So we've got 5 plus 2 is 7, plus 4 is 11. We carry the 1. 5 and 1 is 6. 6 plus 9 is 15, and 15 plus 7 is 22. Okay, you're doing really well. Let's keep it up. Question 14. The bar chart below shows the different types of baked goods that a bakery sold this morning and this afternoon. How many cookies were sold in total? The key tells us that the grey bar represents the number of baked goods sold in the morning, and the green bar represents the number of baked goods sold in the afternoon. From the bars labelled cookie, we can see that 14 cookies were sold in the morning and 4 cookies were sold in the afternoon. We can then find the total of this, which is 18. Therefore, 18 cookies were sold in total. Question 15. Look at the grid below. What is the x coordinate of point B? So on a coordinate grid, the x-axis runs horizontally and the y-axis runs vertically. To find the x-coordinate of B, we need to see where it sits on the horizontal axis. Now point B is in line with 2 on the x-axis, so this is its x-coordinate, 2. Question 16. Sophie invents a new meaning for the symbol in math. She decides that A and B means divide A by B and then add B. So it's a 2-step problem. You divide it and then you add it. So let's turn the instructions into an equation using A and B as placeholders. And we can then replace A with 6 and replace B with 3. So we have 6 divided by 3 plus 3. And we know that is 2 plus 3, which is 5. And that's our answer. Okay, 17. Mandy invents a new meaning for the symbol in math. She decides that B means multiply A by B and then subtract B. So similar to 16. Following Mandy's rule, work out the value of C such that C and 6 equals 6. So once again, we're going to turn the instructions into an equation. So we have C multiplied by 6 minus 6. Now we know that C love heart 6 equals 6. So instantly we'll have C multiplied by 6 minus 6 equals 6. We will then take the minus 6 to the other side. So C times 6 equals to 6 plus 6. Remember, a negative will then become a positive. So C times 6 is 12. We'll then take the times 6 over, and the times will become a divide. So C equals 12 divided by 6, and C is then 2. So for it to be true, C must equal to 2. Okay, question 18. The prices of some cleaning supplies and personal care products at a supermarket are shown below. Abel buys the most expensive cleaning supply and the cheapest personal care product. He pays with a £10 note. How much change does Abel receive? So the table shows these different choices, and the most expensive cleaning supply is a mop, which is £4.40, while the cheapest personal care product is a toothbrush, and that costs 90 pence. So if Abel buys a mop and a toothbrush, then he owes £4.40 plus 90 pence, which is £5.30. And if he pays with a £10 note, we merely have to do £10 minus £5.30, which is £4.70. Therefore, Abel receives £4.70 in change. We're almost there, team. Let's keep it up. Question 19. A rectangle has a length of 10 centimeters and a width of 2 centimeters. A square has the same perimeter as this rectangle. So what is the square's area in centimeters squared? Well, if a rectangle has a length of 10 centimeters and a width of 2 centimeters, then its perimeter is going to be equal to 10 multiplied by 2 plus 2 multiplied by 2, which is 24. Now we can find the side length of a square with the same perimeter as this rectangle by dividing the perimeter by 4. So 24 divided by 4 gives us 6. So the area of a square with a side length of 6 is going to be 36. So we'll have 36 centimeters squared, and that's just 6 by 6. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Right, we're down to our final question. A cinema is offering a discount on tickets. You buy 5 tickets and you get the 6th one free. Zia bought 18 tickets for a group of friends and paid £45.60. How much would she have paid if she had only bought 1 ticket at this cinema? Well, because of the sale, when Zia bought 18 tickets, it's like she paid for fewer. Now, 18 tickets is 3 groups of 6. But in each of these groups, Zia only paid for 5 and got the 6th one free each time. So in other words, she actually paid for 3 groups of 5. Or shall we say, 15 tickets. Let's use long division to divide the total cost by 15 and find out how much 1 ticket cost. So we'll have £45.60 divided by 15. So 15 does not go into 4, but 15 goes into 45 3 times. Let's not forget our decimal. But now how many times does 15 go into 60? Well, it doesn't go into 6, but it goes into 64 times. So let's use long division to divide the total cost of £45.60 by 15 and find out how much 1 ticket costs. Remember, the long division process is divide, multiply, subtract, and bring down. So does 15 go into 4? No, it doesn't. So we can just put a -0. Does 15 go into 45? Yes, it does. That is 3 times. So -45. Does 15 go into 0? No, it doesn't. So we put a 0 here. But does 15 go into 60? Yes, it does. And we have 0 left over, and that is 4. So we now know that 1 ticket costs £3.04. Marvellous work. Wow, we've just scribbled through 20 different types of math questions for Alleyn School, from sequences to fractions and word problems and beyond. Remember, practice makes perfect. And with a little bit of focus and maybe a little help from our YouTube channel, Learn with Rishi, and Atom Learning, you can feel confident and ready for your 11+ exam. If you loved this walkthrough, don't forget to subscribe, like and share this video with your friends. iPencil will be back soon with more math adventures, tricks and fun challenges. Until next time, keep your brain sharp and your pencils even sharper.